Hey everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome to another Minecraft video. A few days ago, about a week ago, I posted a video about this two-way elevator that allowed you to go up to any floor, but only allowed you to come down the other side to the bottom. So my next challenge was to try and get the multi-floor working on the downside as well as on the upside. And I think I've done it, and I'm really excited about it. It's still not quite finished, but I want to show you what I've got so far. So you're going to have to bear with me for a couple of minutes just while I go up and down a few times just to show you how it works. So you've got a selector panel on each floor. Selector panel there, selector panel there, selector panel there, selector panel there. All of that. I've had to put the one on the bottom on the left and the rest of them were already on the right because of how this works. Now you remember this is the brains behind going up using the bubbly water and the soul sand. And you may remember that from the previous video. But that all had to be on this side. Just because it just did. So the selector panel at the bottom is on the left hand side. So say we want to go up to the fourth floor. We pick the fourth floor. Press a button. And we go up to the fourth floor. Perfect. System resets itself. We can now say we want to go up to the sixth floor. Up to the sixth floor. Perfect. What about going down though, Frills, I hear you ask? It's a very good question. What if now you want to go back down to the second floor? Here we are on the second floor. Brilliant. Now we want to go up to the top so we don't have to press any buttons because the top is the top. And we're at the top at the seventh floor. What a fantastic view. If you like a desert. If you like a desert with a river running through it. Right, now we want to go down to the second floor. Here we are, second floor. So I could do this all day, and literally I have been doing this for quite a while. But the problem I've got with it, apart from the fact that I am super excited by all of this, there is still one little thing I'm not completely happy with, and that's I've had to put it on a timer, and I don't like putting it on a timer. I wanted stuff to be activated by the player doing something, and when they're coming down, that's easy. That's what that does there, that observer there with a bit of string in front of it. So when I press that button there to activate a floor, when I go down through that bit of string, it will actually reset that panel. So the player physically has to do something. So if I press that button, I suppose there are downsides and upsides. If I press that button and then don't go down the elevator, this doesn't get reset. So then the next person might be at the top, might want to come down to the bottom floor. They jump in, come all the way down. Because I've already set this to floor 2 as an example, they'll stop at floor 2 because the system hasn't been reset. Whereas with the timer, if we press the button, you can see that block comes across, activating the entire system, and it sets off this timer here. And the timer runs for, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds and then resets itself and turns everything off. Now the downside to that is if you're going from bedrock and you want to go all the way up to 250, you have to have quite a long delay on the timer, despite the fact that it is quite quick to go from the bottom, nearly all the way up to sky. You still have to put quite a bit of a delay on it. So if you've got an elevator that starts at bedrock and you have one floor at level 20 and then you have one floor at level 100, and then you have one floor at level 200. If you select the floor at level 20, it'll take the system 20 seconds to reset before you can use the lift again, because it doesn't know you've got out at level 20, and it has to take into account that you could be going all the way up to level 200. So it has to keep the system live just in case you've gone up to level 200. If you select level 200 and then but the timer is too short, before you get to level 200 the system is going to reset and you're going to go sailing past the floor that you want to stop off, because the system has already been reset. I hope that explains it a little bit. I wanted to use string, but I can't use string going up because obviously there's nowhere to put the string. So I thought about putting it underneath the trapdoor, which is all well and good if you're only ever coming up to this floor and then going back down again. Because if I put some redstone underneath that pressure plate, when I come up the elevator and out at this floor, it would deactivate the circuit, which is brilliant. But then when I choose another floor and go back in, if I wanted to go up to the next floor, I'd have to go over that pressure plate again, which would deactivate the circuit. So I wouldn't be able to go up to the next floor, which is why I've had to put a timer on it. Now there are two systems at the moment on here that deactivate the downside. There's the timer, but there's also the string. They both do the same job. So clearly on the finished one, I'm either going to have to get rid of one or the other. There's no point in having two systems in there, and I think it looks like the string is going to have to go because the string's no good when you're going up. So just one more play because I'll never get tired of playing with it. Floor number 6. Activate it. Just have to give it a second just so everything fires before you start going up, otherwise it doesn't work. And here we are at level 6. So I'll try and show you how it works. It uses like a trumpet valve kind of effect. If I deactivate this timer, I might be able to show you a little bit better. Oh, actually I don't have a timer on the top floor. Interesting. I'm going to have to put one on there. So if I select floor number 3, press the button, this highlights this sticky piston going down. You've got the first floor, the second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor, sixth floor. There isn't one for the 7th floor because obviously you can't go to the 7th floor. This system also falls down in the fact that it uses the item frame with the arrow in it, which means there can only ever be a maximum of 10 floors. You'll have the ground floor, and then you'll have floors through 1, 2, 8, and then you'll have the top floor. So you've got 8 floors, the ground floor 9, the top floor 10. So you can't have more than 10 floors. It's a minor flaw. We could potentially get round it, I suppose, but to be honest, if you've got more than 10 floors you want to go to, then you're out of luck with this system. But anyway, so it's highlighted that sticky piston, which in turn has highlighted all the sticky pistons going down to the 3rd floor. And this is the 3rd floor. So it's now extended out that piston, which extends out the floor block. So now when you fall through, because of all the water on the way down, you don't take any damage. You'll fall through down to here, you'll walk out, and after a certain amount of time, actually that's why I didn't bother putting the reset in there. I didn't put a reset in here because the timer is only needed when you're going up. Because I'm not going up from here, this is the top floor, I didn't need a timer on here. So I can demonstrate this by going down to the 6th floor. So now it's highlighted the 6 sticky piston, 6th floor, which is this floor here, which is extended out that piston. So now, now when I don't fall down there, now if I go in the downside, go down, I fall through that bit of string, which then unsets the system and retracts that sticky piston, and it resets the panel. As I say, this only works without the timer on the top floor. But hopefully, I don't know whether I'm explaining it anyway. So if you want to go down, let's go halfway down and see if I can explain this a little bit. I know it all looks really complicated, doesn't it? I showed you this before. This is the mechanism that allows me to only highlight one piston because of I think it's an AND gate. We need that and that to, I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but anyway, let's try and demonstrate this then. So if you want to go down to and I'm not going to do a very good job at this, it was hard enough putting it together, trying to explain it's going to be impossible. So we are currently on the 4th floor. So this is a mechanism for the 4th floor. So we have the 1st floor, the 2nd floor, the 3rd floor. We don't need one for the 4th floor because that's the 4th floor we're on. Those sticky pistons will all activate the downward side of the system. So they will, each one of those pistons highlights one of these bits of redstone. So if I select the 3rd floor, that bit of redstone is highlighted. That bit of redstone is highlighted. If I pick the 2nd floor, this one is highlighted, and if I pick the 1st floor, that is highlighted. So all of the ones left of the gap are downward pointing systems. So those are the 3 for the 3 floors below. Those are the 4 for the 4 floors below. Those are the 5 for the 5 floors below, and they are the 6 for the 6 floors below the top floor. You don't need one for the ground floor, although I think I've got one in there anyway. The system on the right hand side refers to the up side of the elevator. So if I'm on the 4th floor, is this the 4th or the 5th? This is the 5th. So if I'm on the 5th floor and I want to go up, it activates this mechanic here. So that's the 6th floor, that's the 7th floor. These sticky pistons will go down all the way to the bottom and activate this mechanism here, which will either retract or extend the soul sand depending on which floor. So if I'm on the 2nd floor and I press that I want to go to the 6th floor, this piece of soul sand, that piston extends down, activating that repeater, which deactivates that redstone torch, which retracts this piston, which will pull that bit of soul sand underneath the water, which will suck the water out of the dispensers that are on the 6th floor, which will stop me when I get to the 6th floor. Oh, I do hope I've explained that. But anyway, my only concern at the moment is the fact that it's on a timer. Apart from that, this thing is an absolute dream. Honestly, I can't get enough of it. I want to go to the 6th floor, press the button, wait for it to activate, walk in. Up to the 6th floor. The only time it lets you down is if you activate the system and then whiz this round really quickly, because that sometimes will cause a 1-tick pulse to go through those pistons and leave the slime behind, which makes the circuit always active, which is not good. So don't go wallowing that round really quickly if the button's pressed, because you will break it. And also, what floor am I on? Let's go down a couple of floors and I might be able to show you. I'm on the 4th floor. If I want to go to the 5th floor, which is only 1 floor up, and I press the button and then run in the elevator really quickly, it hasn't given the next floor time to suck the water out. So if I do that and then run in straight away, I go straight past the floor, because it hasn't given the water, it hasn't given the system time to take that water out. So because now I know that if I want to go to a floor above me, I don't just jump in there straight away and run off really quickly. So a couple of floors, but on the whole, I think with limitations, we have a fully working multi-floor up and down bubbled column elevator. Now, if you've got any questions about this or you've got any suggestions, then please lob them in the comments. I really, really enjoy reading what you guys have got to say. I am by no means a Wetstone expert, and I am sure that there are ways of doing this. I know we could add more floors to this by just adding more buttons, but I like that. I like the simplicity of it. I did think about having the button in the middle of the doors as well, and have the up on one side and have the down on the other, which is always a possibility. But you know, I also like them being close together. The fact now that we have it working, and I understand now how it works, means that the aesthetics of it can be played about with. I mean, we could have the doors, one there and one there, and have the dial in the middle. We could have the button that activates everything possibly above the dial, so you can flick the dial around and press the button above it. Things like that. Now we understand that the system can be done. But anyway, I'm waffling, and I'm really, really excited about this. Oh, also, I've been told off several times now for calling this 1.13, so I will try to call it 1.13. I know it should be. It comes from training to be a pilot, and saying 1.13 is the right way to say it when you're trying to fly a plane. 1.13 isn't the right way to do it. Anyway, I'm not flying a plane, I'm playing Minecraft. So from now on, I believe I will be able to call it 1.13. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate all your feedback. And any suggestions you have, please stick them in the comments. I love to hear them. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.